10 pillars. Baptism. What is next? Anointment. Worship by bowing down. 7-hourly worship. The washing of feet. The Good Friday service. The resurrection service. The ascension service. The Pentecost. And the last of Christmas Eve. All of the pillars are about worship. It's about God is giving Celestia a way, as in 10 manner of mentality in worship. Baptism. What do you call baptism? We take baptism for immersion in water or sprinkling of water with water. Whatever thing we look at baptism, whichever way we look at baptism. Baptism goes beyond whether immersion or sprinkling. Although the correct methodology for baptism is by immersion. Christ was immersed. John began to preach baptism. He was given the office, by the office of the priest through God. It was ordained on John, or imposed on John to do spiritual washing, spiritual cleansing. So baptism is one of the spiritual cleansing, which has its principle in one thing. Peter will say it in 1 Peter chapter 3. How do we read that one? Get the correct Bible. Get this King James Version. First Peter chapter 3. That should be verse. Go for verse 20, 19, 20, 21. Yeah.
We formerly were disobedient. When once the divine long-suffering waited in the days of Noah,
You see?
while the ark was being prepared,
Yes.
in which a few, that is, 8 souls, were saved from the water.
Yes.
There is also an antitype which now saves us, baptism.
What is Peter saying? Baptism began from Noah. Is that what he's saying? They were baptized. They were immersed. Some people died being immersed in the water. Some people were washed, but they live over the water. Now, the mentality that lives over the water is what Peter wants to preach now. What is the mentality? That was 21. Not the removal of the filth from the flesh,
but the answer of a good conscience toward God through the resurrection of Jesus Christ.
That's all. Baptism is defined as the answer of a good conscience towards God by the resurrection of Jesus Christ. The answer of a good conscience. That's the baptism that takes you to be over the water, that brings you out of the water, that saves the souls. Now, by that methodology, Noah was first baptized. And those who are baptized into Noah, or baptized with Noah, believed Noah. If you understand what I'm saying. They believed Noah, they followed him. The remaining 7 people followed Noah. let's say peradventure because they were of the same, they are it's family. Let's admit that it's because they are his family, because we had no other person. So Joshua took a clue from Noah when he said, "As for me and my house, will serve the Lord." So every man that would go by baptism principle must first, what thing you believe in must save your own house. So if the baptism is the answer of a good conscience towards God by the resurrection of Jesus Christ, what is the key there? The resurrection of Jesus Christ. What is the resurrection giving you? What did he give us? Resurrection. Romans chapter 4, the last verse says, because we must be able to bring this thing to a logical conclusion. Let's go from 23 to...
Now, it was not written for his sake
Yes.
that it was imputed to him, but also for us. It shall be imputed to us who believe in him who raised up Jesus our Lord from the dead.
Who believed in him who raised up Jesus our Lord from the dead, yes?
Who was delivered up because of our offenses
Jesus was delivered up for our offenses.
and was raised because of our justification.
It means the resurrection of Jesus gave you your justification. So the answer of a good conscience is what? Believing truly in the resurrection. The justification by the resurrection. Maybe you don't understand. Believing that when I go through this process, I am justified. I am a man without sin. The old sin, the old nature was buried, is dead. The old personality of sin is dead in me. Now the new person coming out of the water and over the water is a new person, which is the ideal of the true concept of the resurrection, the true interpretation of the justification through resurrection. So if it says baptism is the answer of a good conscience towards God, that is believing God that he justified me. The work of justification was perfected by the raising of Jesus from the dead. So if I would not believe, some people are baptized, but they believe not that Jesus being raised from the dead has justified them. They look at it. But I'm seeing a sinner. You are not a sinner because you commit sin. You are a sinner because you were born into it. Somebody sinned, you inherited it. That's your personality. But you need to take up a new inheritance. Did you get anything? We inherited sin from Adam. Now here is an opportunity for a new inheritance. You can't inherit the two on the go. You have to drop one and take up one. Not that you are not a sinner as you move, but you are justified. So you need to take up a new mentality. Being justified. The next thing is take up a new mentality. And as Paul said in Romans chapter 12, I beseech you, you give your body unto God, live a living sacrifice. Only, why is it, when it says a living sacrifice, what does that mean? When it's a sacrifice, it's dead. But you are called out of death. Holy and acceptable. This is your reasonable worship. It doesn't say, and be not conformed to the world, but be ye transformed by the renewing. You see the thing? Baptism without the renewal does not make a thing. You are baptized, You need to take a new shape. When John was baptizing, people came to him. What do? You don't do this thing again. You don't do that again. You don't do this again. Now he's giving them a new picture of who they should be. Like the Israelites baptized into Moses. That's another aspect of baptism. Paul said it in 1 Corinthians chapter 10. Chapter 10 from verse 3. He said,
all eat the same spiritual food.
Go from verse 1. Let me hear. Moreover,
I do not want you to be unaware that all our fathers were under the cloud.
Don't be unaware that all our fathers were under the cloud.
All passed through the sea.
They passed through the sea.
All were baptized into Moses.
Being baptized into Moses. What does that show? Baptism is carried on out by somebody into somebody. Did you get it? You are baptized by the one that had you into the one he sent to you. The only Israelites were baptized into Moses. We were baptized into Christ. The disciples, were baptized into Christ. Did you get it? Now, we were baptized into Oshofa. God sent him. Christ sent SBJ. If you believe in what he brought, you are baptized into him. When what he brought is giving you a new mentality, baptism is ensued. He said the answer of a good conscience. There's a change in the conscience, in the way you reason, in the mentality. The answer of a good conscience towards God by what he gave to you. He brought, this is what I give you. Christ gave me this to give it to you. Now, that thing is coming up because of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. If Christ did not resurrect, like Paul said, he said, they will become liars because we say God raised up Jesus. But now that he resurrected, you see it. We are witnesses. That's why Jesus said, you become my witnesses from Jerusalem to Judea and the rest of the world. Now, this is a witness who came to say, this is what God gave me for you. Believing in what God gave him for us brings us to a baptism. But the Israelites all perished. Single reason. They believed not. Read on. Let's see.
All were baptized into Moses.
Yes. In the cloud.
And in the sea.
In the sea.
All ate the same spiritual food.
They ate the same spiritual food.
And all drank the same spiritual drink.
Yes.
For they drank of that spiritual rock that followed them.
Yes.
And that rock was Christ.
Yes.
But with most of them, God was not well pleased.
Why?
For their bodies were scattered in the wilderness.
Why? Read.
Now these things became our examples, to the intent that we should not lust after evil things as they also lusted.
1.
And do not become idolaters, as were some of them.
2.
As it is written, the people sat down to eat and drink, and rose up to play. Nor let us commit sexual immorality, as some of them did.
3.
And in one day 23,000 fell. Nor let us tempt Christ, as some of them also tempted.
4.
And were destroyed by serpents. Nor complain, as some of them also
5.
and were destroyed by the destroyer. Now all these things happened to them.
They did 5 things to show they never believed. All these 5 things, Hebrew captured into one. What did he call it? In Hebrews chapter 3. Let's go from verse 15.
While it is said,
Mm-hmm.
today if you will hear his voice,
Mm-hmm.
do not harden your heart
Yes.
in rebellion. For who having heard rebelled? Indeed, was it not all who came out of Egypt was he angry 40 years? Was it not with those who sinned, whose corpses fell in the wilderness? And to whom did he swear that they would not enter his rest, but to those who did not obey? So we see that they could not enter in because of unbelief.
Unbelief. So when you are baptized and you remain unbelieving, you are unchanged in your mentality. Your conscience is not going with what you are doing. Then the baptism is useless. So whoever, that's why the Celestial Constitution says, whoever becomes a convert or a worshipper in Celestial Church, irrespective of the other baptism he might have done, he must have to be baptized into what Christ gave to us here, confessing, I believe. So baptism is a major pillar in the journey of a Celestial, which signifies the answer of a good conscience. Peter gave it a very sharp definition. So you don't say it's like putting him in water and bringing him out. And no, it's beyond that. There must be a new conscience, a good. This time, the thoughts of the heart of man by the days of Noah, God says evil continually. Now, God needed a new imagination, which will be opposite of evil. He said, it's a good conscience towards God. Oh God, I gave it to you. You own everything about me. You are able to take care of me. I rely totally on you. Whatever you say determines what I will do. I want to follow you thoroughly, totally. That's about baptism. If not, then we waste our time. Baptism is not sure. That's why it's good for everyone who is a member to be baptized in the church, so that you agree. It's a show of consenting to the truth God gave to the man through which he founded the church, so that no matter what, you'll be a partaker in the true inheritance. Like I said the other time, we inherited sin, death from somebody. Here is somebody bringing life. So it came from death. So he tested first our death and used that which he had to produce life, so that we are convinced that of a truth, he could give us life. So whoever will follow him, as he could be raised from the dead, such a one will be raised. That's about it. God bless us.